what's up guys? Hey, it's Mitch. Hope everyone's having a great day. I'm gonna do 5 reasons why I think you should buy a Celica GTS. It seems to be a pretty good video and I wanted to give my own opinion on it. So I'm gonna give you 5 reasons why I think you should go out and buy a Toyota Celica GTS 7th generation. So let's go ahead and jump. So reason number 1 why I think you should go get one is because, first and foremost, they look amazing. The aesthetics on these cars are absolutely amazing. This is the number 1 reason why I think you should go get one. I think they are the best, one of the best looking cars ever made. They are heavenly, they look awesome. The angles on them are absolutely amazing. They're so sharp. They look so aggressive. I think that everything about them on the appearance side, I really like. A lot of cars I'll like from one angle, but not all the angles. This car I love from all the angles. So now I have a Tsunami edition, so mine's a little bit more special, but it does have the TRD wing, which you guys can get from factory. The aesthetics on it. The lower kit you can get, but it's a harder to find. But overall, just the body of the car looks beautiful. And what I mean by that, my favorite part it's always been, is this car has this really good, aggressive crescent moon. So where the window is, you can definitely see where the window is. It kind of comes into this like little sharp angle. I think that's the number 1 reason why I've always liked the Toyota Celica. If you see a Celica driving on the highway, you'll notice that it's a Celica and not an RSX or anything, or maybe an Acura Integra. Because of the Celica's sharp angle, it looks so beautiful. It still looks futuristic. I think those angles on the body panel even look better than the FRS. So the number 1 reason why I think you should go buy a Celica is because they're beautiful. They really do look really amazing. So first and foremost, that's the number 1 reason why you should go buy one. Is just purely because they look so sporty. And I think they've held their age very well, but I also think when they came out, they were actually so far ahead of its time, some people weren't ready for it. And now that they've been out for a while, they actually keep looking good. So, and I really like them, so I think that they look really good. You will get a lot of compliments on them too. They're very. So reason number 2 for reason why you should go buy a Toyota Celica. The reason number 2 is pretty simple for me. It's the handling. The handling is really, really good on these cars. I've noticed that I have an Evo, and the Evo is very good, but this car is so light and nimble that it feels really sporty. Like, I love driving this car. Every time I get in this car, I remember how sporty the handling is. If you go drive like a rental car, or maybe even like a Dodge Challenger or a Mustang, you can feel the non-responsive of the steering wheel. The steering wheel on this car is absolutely really good. I love the way that it handles. I love the way that it goes around corners. I like that it's small, but not too small. And what I mean by that is the car with the handling being lightweight, the steering being direct and feeling direct. It is front wheel drive, which I think actually in this case lends itself to being better handling. It feels extremely good with the power coming to the front wheels and not the rear wheels. It actually feels really, really good for a front wheel drive. And I truly haven't experienced another front wheel drive that handles as good as the Toyota Celica. That's one of the best things about this car, is the handling. The 7th generation handling is so good. They did such a good job. It's so direct. The steering wheel is a good size for it too. It's not an oversized steering wheel. The steering wheel is not too small. But if you compare it to some of the other cars I have, it's just right in this like happy, perfect, go sporty. It's not over extreme like my Lotus where there's no power steering, and it's not kind of flat, I guess you might say. Like on my Evo, there's some body roll on it. This doesn't really have the body roll on it. And even with the MR2 being stock, this doesn't really have as much body roll from factory. This is a really direct steering. So number 2, you should go buy it, because if you want a good handling car, this is a good car for you. Okay, so number 3, the 3rd reason why I think you should go out and buy a Toyota Celica GTS is GTS. You guys know on my channel that I have a 2ZZ on 3 of my cars, and I absolutely love the motor. The Celica GTS comes with this 2ZZ. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys in a second. And it comes with this thing called VVT-LI, lift. And it is Honda's version of VTEC, or excuse me, Toyota's version of Honda's VTEC. And it really, really does a good job of making the car feel extremely peppy. It goes from being like a little kitty cat to a tiger. After you hit the 6,000 mark and you rev it all the way to its rev limiter, it really comes alive. The car sounds beefy, the car feels beefy. Everything about it in a straight line feels really accelerated. Now, you're not gonna get it all the time. So with the low end side, you're not gonna get all the time, but when you do get it over that 6,000 RPM, everything comes alive. So I'll go ahead and show you the engine that these Celica GTSs comes with and why you should get. So here's the magic engine bay. This is so amazing. This is VVT-LI. The L stands for lift. Everyone talks about this if you're in the Toyota Celica world. You want that. A lot of people that go out and test drive a Lotus ELISE, they'll go and say it really came alive. It felt really fast after a certain RPM. And then otherwise it wasn't as peppy. But once you get it above there, that's what they always say. Once you get it above there, it's really fast. This is special because not all the Celicas, the GTs did not come with this. And the other thing that makes it, and I kind of, the whole video of I'm saying why you should go buy one now. The reason why I say you should go buy one now is spend a little bit of time and just shop 7th generation, so 2000 to 2005 Toyota Celica GTSs. You're gonna have trouble finding a good one. What I mean by a good one, most of the body panels are gonna be pretty beat up by now. They're 20 years old, and they will be beat up, and it's hard to find a mint good condition one. In addition to it, you might have some engine trouble. Or you might have some transmission trouble. So it's hard to find a good one. And then if they are in a really good condition, they're actually climbing in value. So you should go get one now. And what do I mean by that? Well, if you look at just that setup, like a 2005 Toyota Celica GTS with a manual 6-speed, not even with the automatic. The automatic actually goes for a lot less, but with the manual 6-speed, they really are selling around, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, even 14,000. I've seen a couple for 14,000. These cars at one point, they kind of hit their lowest point of about $6,000, and now they're starting to go back up in value. So you should go get one now. So if you can find one for a good deal, you know, one of these, 2005, 2004, all the way down to the original year of 2000, and it's a manual and it's a 2ZZ. You're gonna love it. I highly recommend getting one. They're becoming a lot more scarce, so you should go get one. The next reason that I really love this car, and I've said this many times, and I think that you guys should go out and get one for this and find one of these. Now, on a GTS, they do come with an automatic, like I just mentioned, but it's like this paddle shifter automatic. It's cool. It's not a dual clutch, but the 6-speed manual transmission. It is just absolutely the best that this car came with a 6-speed. Being on the highway and being in 6th gear is just truly awesome. I really love it. It is so nice. Also with the gears, I'm just telling you, just a pep down, we're down into 5th, down into 4th, you know, oh my gosh. And then throw it into 3rd with that high revving. It's so good. We're gonna pull a little bit more. Yeesh, that's amazing. So reason number 4 why I really think you should go get one is that 6-speed manual transmission. I love it. They call it a C60 or a C64. It is an amazing transmission. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys into the car. Now, this transmission is amazing for being 6-speed. I absolutely love it. So this car is the year 2005, and for it to be having a 6-speed manual, I'm just absolutely in love with the 6-speed manual. It's very close, short gears, so you like to shift a lot, and I really enjoy that. So while you're in town, if you're wanting to keep the RPMs lower, you're gonna be shifting pretty quick, but I truly feel that when I used to go fast in this car and go fast against other cars, I would love it because I always felt like the gears ran a little bit longer than my competitors. And for a good example is that 1st and 2nd will get you to almost about 65, 70 miles an hour. And then going up into 3rd will get you just about 90 miles an hour. And then 4th will get you to about 110, 115 miles an hour. I think that is awesome. So once you get into 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going up to 100, and you're above 115 in that 5th gear, you're not gonna be hanging out there too much, but I really love that it has that 6th gear. I truly wish my Mitsubishi Evo, my Evo 10 had a 6th gear. It's one of the biggest downfalls in my opinion about that car, and I absolutely love. So when I first got my Toyota Celica, I had to have the manual 6-speed, and I still recommend to this day the manual 6-speed. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite thing about the entire car. Now, the fifth and final reason is pretty easy. It's what it's called in the name. It's a Toyota Celica GTS. What do I mean by that? There's a Toyota dealership right down the road from me, and I can order almost every part from them. Believe it or not, you can still order the action package from Toyota, which is the side skirts, the rear bumper, and the wing. Those are special pieces, but some Toyota dealerships still you can order them through, which is crazy because it's a 20-year-old car. A lot of cars immediately they discontinue it after they stop selling it. This stopped selling in the US in 2005. So 15 years ago was when the last one they had like on their showroom floor that they were selling, and they still have a lot of parts for it. That's pretty amazing. There's a lot of cars that you cannot have that same thing for. A good example I'd say is if you went and looked at a Lotus Esprit, they made Lotus Esprits available in the United States in 2001. There's like no Lotus dealerships. There's no parts to get that. All that stuff you're gonna have to get secondhand, and if you do find it from a Lotus dealership or even Lotus the company, it's going to be extremely expensive. I love that about the Toyota Celica. If you have a new, whatever you might need, even if you just need like an OEM thermostat, you can go down to Toyota and order one. If you need lift bolts, you can go down to Toyota and get one. It's truly amazing that all these parts for this, pretty much this entire car is down at Toyota, or they still have them because they made quite a few of them. Same thing with the engine on there. The Toyota, it's a Toyota, it's made by Yamaha, but it's a Toyota engine on there. You can get all the parts from Toyota. I love that. That's one of the big things that always deters me and makes me stay away from special cars. I really want an Alfa Romeo 4C, but I think that would be one of the issues. Now, that's a new car and it's very expensive, but it would make me want to go and get a Lotus Evora with the Lotus Evora 400 or with the Camry motor in there, because I know that Toyota will have those parts for that Camry. And that's one of the greatest things about this Toyota Celica is there's so many parts available for it. And if you're missing something, yeah, you can go to the junkyard and find one probably, because there's a lot of Celicas that were made, but even if you can't find it at a used, you can still go to the Toyota dealership and go get a lot of them. And being a Toyota, it's gonna last long. So I've had really good experience with my ownership of all my Toyotas, and I really do love them. And I like that all the parts, when I go down to the Toyota dealership, they're like, yeah, sure, we can order it for you. Be here in a couple days. So I do really like that, and I think that is a good reason and why you should go buy one right now versus a discontinued car. There's gonna be some discontinued cars that are out there that are pretty cool. Maybe like a, I would say maybe like a Mitsubishi 3000 GT. That might be a little bit harder to get some parts for. There's some older cars that you're gonna be like, hey, should I get one of these over the Celica? I would say that the 7th generation Celica looks better than those cars. It might not be fastest in the straight line compared to all those cars, but I think it'll probably handle better than most of those cars. I really recommend, if you could go out and test drive one of these, you'd really fall in love with it, especially if you haven't driven a Nimble sports car. And for the price, for where they're at, get one now before they hit that 10,000 mark, because when they start hitting the 10,000 mark, you're gonna go, man, I really wish I had what Mitch said, that manual 6-speed 2ZZ GTS, because it'll always bring a smile to your face, and it's miles per gallon. So those are the 5 reasons why I think you should go buy a Toyota Celica now. Get the GTS. If you get the GT, do the maintenance on it, and if you get a later version of the 1ZZ, do the maintenance on it. It should hold, but I do prefer the 2ZZ. And if you have a GT, I still love them. I think you guys should turbo them. Swing by turbokits.com. Use the code my name, MITCHDORE, to get a discount there. And then always swing by MITCHDORE.com, and I'll see you guys on the next video. I love the handling.